Unmuted now. We're still on the thumbnail.
I should have like tattoo concealer so I could conceal this.
You're live right now.
Oh, I am?
Yes.
Hi.
I'm not, now you're there, actually can see you. I just
Okay.
turned it over.
Hey, you got here. I'm getting a call from a random person.
Turn that off.
Yeah.
Mute it. Everybody, welcome to the Pop Music Time Machine. We're recording the 80s right now.
Let's go.
Just to show you a little bit of our setup. It's not fancy. You know, we're not the world's richest people on earth, so we do the best we can. But got a few lights here. We got the teleprompter there. We got the reflector. We're trying to figure out how to use it. We got some lights over there, and of course, the most important, the star of the show, Gracie. We're getting ready to record the decade of the 80s, just to show you how we do things and how things are set up when we're going through it. We'll be asking questions as we see people come online. Where you're from, what's your favorite song from the 80s, and things like that. So we hope you tune in.
Yes.
Going to,
See how we do everything.
yeah, we're going to, but please, we apologize for not responding to you if you tune in or say something, because when we're in the middle of a recording, we can't really do anything other than focus on that. But as we end each year, we will actually, we'll talk a little bit, see what everybody's up to.
Yeah, what they thought about that year, if you were around that year.
Exactly. And now we're getting echo because we're learning how to do this. I'm gonna turn this down. Okay,
Ally says she doesn't see a comment section.
should be a comment section.
Can you send a screenshot of what
It's
you're
on the
seeing?
right. We switch over to, I need to switch count here. Why is it moving? Oh, that's not the lock. Gotta switch the account on to see the chats, or maybe I don't. Just bear with us, folks. We're getting ready to go record, and here in a second, we have a cat wandering through the house as well. So hopefully 11 will not bust up our groove. Whoever's tuned in right now, just let us know if we can hear our mics. StreamYard. StreamYard. Comments. Can you see the feed, Gracie, on YouTube?
Me?
Can you see the feed, Gracie, on YouTube?
Let me check. Me?
Yeah.
Let me check. Um, um, doesn't look like you could. Did you like not turn that option on the comment?
It should be on.
Yeah, it should be on. I see it right here.
Allison's
Allison's
commenting.
commenting.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't come here, don't come baby, let's God forsaken, let's
Melanie
and Allison's tuned in.
Okay.
You
You may have to turn the volume down on your phone.
My.
Yeah,
So it
so it
doesn't
doesn't
echo.
echo.
I had
I had
to
to
turn it
turn it
down
down
there.
there.
I see
I see
11
over there.
Okay, 11, you need to get off stage. We have to close these doors.
All right.
Get started. This is like a 2-hour deal. I mean, it's a little short now that we have this teleprompter.
Yeah,
And what we're gonna do now, I'm going to show everyone.
Can
Can you
you
see my feet?
on this camera you can,
but
but
not
not
on the,
Not on the,
not on the main one.
Okay, gonna put show you what the thumbnail
thumbnail
for the it's echoing.
Yeah.
But is it the delayed echo of what
we said before?
Well. She wouldn't be able to hear that though.
Yeah,
She may not be watching live. She might be
watching.
Is she watching two streams?
Or she's watching before, because when you turn over to that, sometimes it doesn't play live, it plays time back. Let me check a few settings
here.
See if that'll kill the echo. Okay. I just don't know when Allison or Melanie is watching right now because it may be delayed. We're not hearing echo right here. I've got echo turned off.
Well, maybe, I don't understand why there would be echo.
Well, there's echo because we got so many freaking mics going on here. All right, folks, we're getting ready to record 1980 in pop music history. We've got the 1980 thumbnail up right now. So you'll see that. We think we've got our audio set correctly, but we're going to do 1980 now. Let me see if the teleprompter is ready. It is set to play. Turn the camera back over to Gracie now. Bring it up. All right. Here we go with the recording of 1980. Hide that phone.
Sorry.
And let me get things started over here. All right. Crazy, give me a mic check. Oh, wait a second. You don't have the freaking mic on?
No, I don't.
We got to set the mic up somehow. We're gonna do this and have the mic in your dress.
You can just clip it right here.
You clip it there, that's not what I'm worried about. Clipping it is easy. Now we gotta figure out how to get it and not come on the camera. Now we're gonna use this to
Well, then my hair is gonna go.
clip this going. We're gonna
Right.
put it down lower. I'm not trying to touch you. I'm gonna put the, you can move, there's a magnet behind there.
Mm-hmm.
You can move it down lower if you need to.
That's pretty good.
Remember, pauses before you start talking before each segment. There should be spaces between each segment.
Uh-huh.
Pauses before you start talking. Don't have your hands moving right before you stop talking, after you end talking.
Okay.
Let's see if I can turn this up.
Look at my face.
Velcro tied on. Sometimes Velcro around your strap.
Got it?
Where did the, you feel a magnet in there somewhere?
Here.
Turn this. That'd be fine. That mic would face up.
It's because of how it's. Back here.
It came out with a Velcro. Let's see what this looks like on the screen.
Oh, how it's.
I guess do a mic check.
Hello, test 1, 2. Test 1, 2, 3.
All right, that is probably good. Stop it. Start again. So we're at. Okay, this is 1980.
1980.
Hope that's 1980 on the screen. I believe it is.
Yeah.
All right. Go when you're ready.
Okay. Prepare to be transported to a time of big hair, synthesizer.
Synthesizer. Synthesizers.
Okay.
Synthesizer. Yeah, it's a hard word for anybody to say.
Prepare to be transported to a time of big hair, synthesizers, and unforgettable melodies. Welcome to the 80s. It's time to jump into the pop music time machine. Oh, it skipped too quickly.
Where's it at now? Remember, between these next two sentences, give me a pause.
Okay. Do I have to redo that first one?
I don't think so. It's fine.
Okay. Oh, yes, we have, and we've traveled through the decades of pop music history. The 80s were an incredible decade, from killing communism to a space shuttle tragedy at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
Don't read it 4 o'clock. That's my cue to bring the video up 4 minutes into it. So remember, between each line and each space you see on the screen, pause just a little bit.
Okay.
Start at the 80s were an incredible decade.
The 80s were an incredible decade, from killing communism to space.
Start again.
The 80s were an incredible decade, from killing communism to a space shuttle tragedy. The biggest movie of 1980 was the second Star Wars movie. And on August 1st, 1981, the first music video was played on the first channel dedicated.
All right, remember, I need you to give me a little space between these lines.
Okay.
Because some of these lines are cutting to, they're cutting to other places. You know, if you see where it starts here, where do we need to be?
I'll start out on August 1st.
See where, like, after you say MTV there,
Stop.
pause.
Okay.
Because sometimes I have to put something in it. If you go too fast, it'll look too unnatural.
Okay. And on August 1st, 1981, the first music video was played on the first channel dedicated to music videos, MTV. And CNN was the first to go 24 hours with the news on June 1st, 1980. Let's take a look at the news from. Keeps going. Okay. Let's take a look at the news from 1980. Yup, we beat the Russians in hockey, but in May of 1980, Mount St. Helens in Washington blew its top. The soundscape morphed dramatically from the 70s, and one artist emerged as a true pioneer, Michael Jackson. Breaking free from the Jackson 5, he redefined pop music with his singular vision. This song, released in 1980, solidified his status as a revolutionary force, leaving an
Indelible.
indelible. So where do I start again?
I would start at the soundscape because you flowed really fast there. And I don't know if I'm smart enough to be able to cut it.
Let's fix some things. Okay. The soundscape morphed dramatically from the 70s, and one artist emerged as a true pioneer, Michael Jackson. Breaking free from the Jackson 5, he redefined pop music with his singular vision. This song, released in 1980, solidified his status as a revolutionary force, leaving an indelible,
It's too bad that word's at the end of the segment. Indelible.
indelible. Okay, here we go again. Okay. The soundscape morphed dramatically from the 70s, and one artist emerged as a true pioneer, Michael Jackson. Breaking free from the Jackson 5, he redefined pop music with his singular vision. This song, released in 1980, solidified his status as a revolutionary force, leaving an indelible mark on the decade and beyond. And now let's jam to some of the best tunes of 1980.
Move my page over. Go when you're ready.
It says of so much great music in 1980.
That should be O. Oh, so much great music.
Oh, so much great music in 1980, but we also had some future stars born in 1980. Happy birthday to Christina Aguilera, Gucci Mane, Ashanti, and Jessica Simpson. And sadly, we did lose an iconic star of music in 1980. John Lennon, member of the Beatles, was shot and murdered outside of his home in NYC. He was only 40 years old. The biggest song of 1980 was no doubt this one. It came from Blondie, Call Me. And this song was huge in 1980. That's all for the Pop Music Time Machine for 1980. But we are just getting started. We will kick up the time machine again and head back to 1981 coming up. Good?
Yeah, that's good. Maybe just a little more spirit, maybe,
Okay.
you know?
We can do it again. Do you want me to do it again?
It's up to you. If you want to do it again, I just need you to remember to give me pauses between these lines
Okay.
because you're rolling fast and I might be able to do it, but
We can do it again.
hang on 1 second. I'm gonna.
Okay.
Not yet. Not started recording yet.
Okay.
All right, go.
Prepare to be transported to a time of big hair, synthesizers, and unforgettable melodies. Welcome to the 80s. It's time to jump into the pop music time machine. Oh, yes, we have. It is going so fast.
Let me just check something here and see if I was messing with it from my episode earlier.
Slower. That's why I was speaking more softly last time because just the faster I spoke, the longer.
See if this helps what I just did there. It didn't take my setting that I put on there before. So,
Should I start it again?
yeah, I started again. Let me start over here again. Let me do one thing. Hang with me.
Okay.
Just the camera again. What do you see? Like you saw the cat or something.
No, I was just looking. Excuse me?
All right, remember pauses between the lines, even if it's just 1 second.
Okay.
If you read like you're going to a next sentence, it makes it hard. Hang on 1 second. Gucci Mane. Who the heck is Gucci Mane?
Rapper?
Is he from Maine?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm a country boy. I don't know who Gucci Mane is. We're recording, going when you're ready.
Prepare to be transported to a time of big hair, synthesizers, and unforgettable melodies. Welcome to the 80s. It's time to jump into the pop music time machine. Oh, yes, we have. And we traveled through the decades of pop music history. The 80s were an incredible decade, from killing communism to a space shuttle tragedy. The biggest movie of 1980 was the second Star Wars movie. And on August 1st, 1981, the first music video was played on the first music channel dedicated to music videos, MTV. And CNN was the first to go 24 hours with the news on June 1st, 1980. Let's take a look at the news from 1980. Yep, we beat the Russians in hockey, but in May of 1980, Mount St. Helens in Washington blew its top. The soundscape morphed dramatically from the 70s, and one artist emerged as a true pioneer, Michael Jackson. Breaking free from the Jackson 5, he redefined pop music with his singular vision. This song, released in 1980, solidified his status as a revolutionary force, leaving an indelible mark on the decade and beyond. And now let's jam to some of the best tunes of 1980. Of so much great music in 1980.
Oh, so much.
Oh, so much great music in 1980. But we also had some future stars born in 1980. Happy birthday to Christina Aguilera, Gucci Mane, Ashanti, and Jessica Simpson. And sadly, we did lose an iconic star of music in 1980. John Lennon, member of the Beatles, was shot and murdered outside of his home in NYC. He was only 40 years old. The biggest song of 1980 was no doubt this one. It came from Blondie, Call Me. And this song was huge in 1980. That's all for the pop music time machine for 1980, but we are just getting started. We will kick up the machine again and head back to 1981 coming up. Good.
Yeah, that's fine. I can work with that. Still have no idea who Gucci Mane is, but you know. All right, I'm going to show everybody the thumbnail for the
Oh, you already did it?
for 1981.
But are you going to take pictures of me?
At the end.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thumbnail for 1981. It doesn't have Gracie on the thumbnail yet because will get it from this video, but that is, I always get that woman mixed up with Debbie. Is that Debbie Harry or is that? That is, let me remember who that is. I gotta look at the script to know who that is. Kim Carnes sang a great song called Betty Davis Eyes. So in this episode coming up, we're going to be talking about Kim Carnes and a whole lot more. Gracie's getting ready in the background. That's why you got the thumbnail on the screen.
Oh, that's cool.
As we prepare for 1981, you know, it's a time machine. We've got to change the gears and go to 1981 now. And what is your favorite song from the 80s?
Just wanna.
Gracie's going to the powder room now, so just hang with us. We're live. You're just getting an idea of what it's like to make the pop music time machine. We're doing the background stuff. We're recording the video today. And during the next couple of weeks, we'll be editing the video to make it ready to go on YouTube. So we do apologize for the delays, but that's part of the process. And for those of you that will tune in after we've already streamed this, you know, just feel free to fast forward until you see Gracie's head moving again. Then you can hear the next year.
That's cool.
And if you got comments or anything, just put them in the chat area. If they're clean, I'll pop them on the screen. I'm learning how to do this fancy stuff now.
Gosh, it's so humid in the house, huh? Even the humidity hits the house, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody really loves "Take on Me" by a-ha. That's coming up.
That might be my favorite, actually.
It's coming up a little bit later.
And then he's like sweating, and then he finally becomes human.
Yeah. All right. Now it's camera's back on Gracie. You let the cat back in. This is a cat-free zone.
Sorry, Matt. Take me
All right.
up, it hasn't gone to the next one.
Oh, I've got to change the teleprompter. That's all.
Don't take away, I don't know what to say, I'll say it anyway. Shying away.
Anyway, I'm gonna stop and start again. Da-da-da-da. All right, we're ready for 1981. We're rolling. You can start when you're ready.
Okay. Welcome back to the Pop Music Time Machine as we roll through the decades of pop music history. It's going too fast again.
Why it's going too fast? I set the setting on it already.
I also stuttered, so
Huh?
I stuttered, so it's fine, but it's going too fast. My hair looking 80s. This is my natural hair, so.
You know, You're starting up again.
all the way up.
Okay, let me stop this. Start again. Okay, you can go when you're listo.
Welcome back to the pop music time machine as we roll through the decades of pop music history. Keep stuttering there for some reason. History. History. Okay.
You're ready.
Welcome back to the pop music time machine as we roll through the decades of pop music history.
Sounded fine to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I can hear a stutter. Okay. The problem is that I got up at 2 in the morning, or sorry, 3 in the morning because Taylor Swift was in concert in Japan. So
So you went to Japan at 3 in the morning?
I did. And I was there from 3 in the morning until 6 in the morning. So
I don't need to be up that early to watch Shania Twain. I'm sorry. Hang on 1 second. Okay, go when you're ready.
Welcome back to the pop music time machine as we roll through the decades of pop music history. I feel like I'm saying it wrong.
You're saying it fine. It's rolled.
Saying it fine?
Yeah.
Okay, one more time, you guys. I got it. 4th time's the charm. Okay. Welcome back to the pop music time machine as we roll through the decades of pop music history. Today, we head back to 1981. We got a new president, and after 444 days, 52 American hostages in Iran were finally released. And in 1981, we launched the space shuttle for the first time. The most popular show on TV was Dallas. Do you remember who shot who?
JR.
JR.
Not Junior.
Okay.
JR. I should have put a dot between the J and the R. But, you know. Is it scrolling better now?
It's fine, yeah. Do you remember who shot JR? The top movie of 1981 was Raiders of the Lost Ark. In 1981, you could buy a brand new time machine for around $25,000. Time machine?
Yeah, a DeLorean.
Oh. We had a lot of pop songs. We had a lot of pop songs that were released in 1981 that are still favorites even today. Let's listen to some of the best ones. We had some pop star birthdays in 1981, and they were big ones. Happy birthday to Beyonce, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Alicia Keys, Pitbull, and Jennifer Hudson. But we also lost an icon in 1981 when Bob Marley passed away from complications of lung and brain cancer. This song was huge in 1981, back when they used to make love songs you could slow dance to. The biggest song of 1981 came from Kim.
Not Jim. I don't think she identifies as Jim now. I think she still identifies as Kim.
The biggest song of 1981 came from Kim Carnes. This song won the Grammy for Song of the Year and Record of the Year. And Kim recorded this song in one take. Pure magic. Here Here is Betty Davis Eyes. Is that fun?
Yep.
And that's all for 1981. 1982 was one of the best years in pop music history. Stay tuned and join us again in the Pop Music Time Machine.
All right.
Cool.
Now let me bring up the thumbnail for 1982, which was probably the biggest year, honestly, with the number of hits than any other year in the 80s. And on the thumbnail, as you can see there, that's Olivia Newton-John. So for those of you that remember the 80s, you'll know what the #1 song was. So right now, Grayson's gonna get ready, take a drink of water or whatever, so we can do 1982.
1982. It's crazy that it's so humid in Belize that it also goes inside the house.
Yep, it goes everywhere.
How does that happen?
Just the way it is.
Okay. Okay, that needs to go to the next step.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Because we're going live on Facebook now,
Sweet.
and we test this stuff. We're at 82 now, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
It doesn't remember the freaking scroll speed. Oh. Hey, everybody, we're here in the Pop Music Time Machine Studios. Getting ready to switch the camera back over to Gracie, so just hang with me just a second as I push these buttons and learn what the heck I'm doing. Now Gracie's back on the camera. We're doing 19 and 82 now. And for all you folks who have joined us from Facebook, we appreciate your company
Thank you.
because we're here recording the 1980s on the Pop Music Time Machine. So, you know, if you like the 1980s, you'll like this. Hang with us. I need to put a little message there on Facebook. All right, let me get this sucker ready over here. We're doing 1982, which was possibly the biggest year in the 80s in music. Because boy, we're talking about Joan Jett, Survivor, John Cougar, Jay Giles Band, 8675309, Don't Stop Believin', Rosanna from Toto. So much cool music. Go when you're ready.
Greetings, pop music lovers, and welcome to the year 1982. Hi, this is Gracie. We are celebrating the decades of pop music history. Welcome to 1982, the year that brought us possibly the biggest songs of the entire decade. Lots of good stuff on the way. But first, the news of 1982. In 1982, it was not a good idea to take Tylenol in Chicago. 7 people died from poison Tylenol. In 1982, we finally recognized the sacrifice of our Vietnam veterans. In 1982, Bud Light went on sale for the first time. It would take a long time to run down all the huge hits of 1982. John Cougar, Joan Jett, Stevie Miller Band, Toto.
Whoa.
Steve?
Not Stevie.
Steve?
Maybe his friends called him Stevie. How's it written?
Steve.
Steve. It's Steve. Steve Miller.
Stevie. Okay. It would take a long time to run down all the huge hits of 1982. John Cougar, Joan Jett, Steve Miller Band, Toto, The Cars, Chicago, Paul McCartney, Stevie Wonder, Men at Work, Journey, and so much more. Many of these songs are considered pop music classics, and we sure do love them. Wow, that is just incredible music from the 80s that helped define the decade. We had some super pop stars born in 1982. Happy birthday to Nicki Minaj and Kelly Clarkson. But Billboard says the biggest pop song of 1982 came from former country singer and actress Olivia Newton-John. Let's get physical. That's all for the Pop Music Time Machine for 1982. We will see you again in 1983.
Okay, I want you to do a part again.
Uh-huh.
I want you to start from But Billboard. Get excited about that part because that's let's get physical.
But Billboard?
Yeah. But Billboard says the biggest pop song in 1983 came from, and you can go from there.
Excuse me? But Billboard says the biggest pop song of 1982 came from former country singer and actress Olivia Newton-John. Let's get physical.
And you did that's all again, so I don't have to go back.
Okay. That's all for the Pop Music Time Machine for 1982. We will see you again in 1983.
All right, that's all for 1982. Now we're going to put up the thumbnail of what the 1983 video will look like while Gracie gets a drink of water. 1983. I bet you some folks don't even know who these guys are on this thumbnail. I mean, if you're old enough and you know good music, you know who this group is. And the hint is they won't arrest you. But for those just tuning in, we are live on Facebook and on YouTube. We're giving you a behind-the-scene look at the Pop Music Time Machine as we record each year in pop music history. Right now, we're recording 1983. We're getting ready to record 1983. Okay, I'm going to remove the thumbnail, put Gracie back on camera.
Okay, and now it needs to go to 1983.
Click that. All right. I got to do the teleprompter.
Everybody say. Let's get physical.
Oh, it remembered. Cool. Hey, everybody, we're behind the scenes of Pop Music Time Machine, just to give you an idea of how we do things here. And there's a teleprompter, which I started talking, it started moving. We got some lights here, a reflector there. And of course, the green screen, where we fake in some backgrounds. And of course, this is the dining room. You get the camera back down as Grace is taking a tiny break. She gets ready to record 1983.
Oh, hello, the 5 people. Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Gracie's back. Go over to the comments and see if I can see any new comments. If you got any questions, thoughts, or whatever, put them in the comments section. Keep it clean, of course. Likes, loves, we'd love to see likes and loves too. That's cool. We appreciate those.
Okay.
Crap. I was recording all the way. I stop it from 1980. So we're on 1983 now. Do you remember what happened in 1983? I was a young dude back then, and I barely remember it. I was dating a girl named Frida, I think. Frida was sweet.
I was negative 19 years old.
I was crap.
Negative 19.
I was 15.
Oh, wow.
15 years old in 1983.
Okay.
We are ready to go. When you are, Gracie, we're doing 1983 on the Pop Music Time Machine.
We are back aboard the Pop Music Time Machine. It's the click. It's going way too fast again.
Why is it going so fast?
See, look. Down to like the 6th paragraph. I like this teleprompter though, because now I don't have to practice all these lines, which is so difficult because it's a bunch of separate lines to practice. I've got to practice all the 80s lines. It's almost impossible. So having this teleprompter is really cool. And I was worried that you'd be able to see my eyes reading, but you can't at all. It's the coolest thing ever. You can barely at all tell at all. So yeah, I love this thing. It's hard because sometimes it goes quick.
Yeah, it's unperfected technology. You know, I am noticing that on Facebook, I have Facebook muted,
Oh, you do?
but so I can't hear it. But it's automatically captioning everything we're saying. It's doing a pretty decent job.
That's good.
That I hope I can keep track for it. All right, we're recording 1983 on the Pop Music Time Machine. Ready when you are, Gracie.
We are back aboard the Pop Music Time Machine. It's the place where we take a ride through the decades of pop music history.
Stop a second. I didn't put it enough in these scripts. Remember to say your name a few times at the beginning.
Oh, okay. Oh, gosh.
So start from the beginning again.
Hi, this is Gracie. We are back aboard the Pop Music Time Machine. It's the place where we take a ride through the decades of pop music history. It's not skipping.
It's not going anywhere?
I paused. Can you connect it, or you would like me to start over?
No, if you stopped did you stop? Where did you pause? Oh, yeah, you need to start over.
Pop music history.
Yeah, you need to start. I need that whole paragraph.
Okay.
Is it not moving or what?
I clicked the play.
Oh, you didn't hit play.
Excuse me.
Okay, 1983.
This is Gracie. We are back aboard the pop music time machine. It's a place where we take a ride through the decades of pop music history. Michael Jackson starts his meteoric. Sorry. Oops. Hey, this is Gracie. We're back aboard the pop music time machine. It's the place where we take a ride through the decades of pop music history. Michael Jackson starts his meteoric rise in 1983, but he did not have the biggest song of the year. So let's crank it up and head back to 1983. Motorola released its first cell phone in 1983. Back then, that phone would have costed only about $4,000. In the news in 1983, the biggest movie of 1983 was The Return of the Jedi. A gallon of gas in 1983 was an average of
Wait a second. I need you to pause. You started in the news in 1983. You got to pause after that.
Oh.
You went straight to the biggest movie.
Oh,
You need to pause.
it just has punctuation. Okay.
Got it. The biggest movie of 1983.
In the news of 1983, the biggest movie of 1983 was The Return of the Jedi. A gallon of gas in 1983 was around an average of $1.21. A Dodge Ram 50 truck was about $5,600. And you could buy a brand new Timex color computer for $179. At the movies, we were watching the star-studded cast of The Outsiders. The undisputed king of pop took his throne starting in 1983. Here are two of his biggest hits.
Billie Jean is not my lover. Beat it, beat it. Okay. Started in 1983, had many great songs.
1983 had many great songs with snappy rhythms and great lyrics. Check these out. A few pop stars came into the world in 1983. Happy birthday to the late Amy Winehouse and Macklemore. When the rock band Toto recorded this song, they never thought it would be a hit, but it was a big one. It reached the top 10 on music charts across the world and reached #1 on the Billboard chart in February of 1983. Let's go to Africa. The #1 song of 1983 was huge. In 2019, BMI recognized this song as the most played song in radio history. Pretty good for the Sting and his great band, The Police. Is that it?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just going to close with that song, I believe. Every breath you take. Didn't one of those rap dudes re-record that song or something? Every breath you take. He did, I think.
Oh, interesting.
All right, now folks, going to bring up the, the thumbnail for 1984. What were you doing in 1984? Gracie wasn't born, but the man you see on the screen
Oh, it needs to go to the different.
owned the world in 1984. That's Prince.
To make some thumbnails ready. Ah, Prince. Purple rain, purple rain.
We're getting 1984 ready. I'm getting the script ready here. We apologize for the slight breaks. Gracie has to take a little break every once in a while between the ears so she can get some water, get refreshed. Daddy don't get no break. He just keeps on rolling. But we're getting ready to do 1984.
Thank you for everybody who's been on. If you've been on the entire live stream, we really appreciate it so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and those of you watching later, we thank you for tuning in just to
And
see what it's like.
yeah, just what we do.
Yeah, 1984, I went to, I think it was 84. I went to the Michael Jackson concert in Jacksonville, Florida. And a pretty girl by the name of Camille played me a song from a guy named Prince. Like,
Ooh.
wow. And it was an incredible song, and I've been a Prince fan ever since then.
There we go.
Turn the camera back on here. Again, I forgot to stop recording again. Okay, we're going to 1984 now on the Pop Music Time Machine. Did you hit play? I didn't hit play on that thing.
It's already. This is the Pop Music Time Machine. We are loving the decades of pop music history. This is Gracie. Welcome to 1984. 1984 was a very futuristic-like year. Remember the guy with the jetpack in 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles? And everybody wanted the brand new compact disc player. On the big screen, everybody loved. On TV, Dynasty dethroned Dallas as the #1 show. We have some future pop stars being born in 1984. Happy birthday to Katy Perry, Avril Lavigne, and Mandy Moore. But we did lose some icons in 1984 when Jackie Wilson died and Marvin Gaye died too soon. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, try again. Marvin Gaye died too soon.
Okay. But we did lose some icons in 1984 when Jackie Wilson died and Marvin Gaye died too soon. He was only 44 as he was shot to death by his father. Seriously?
Yeah, his father killed him.
That's horrible.
Yep.
That's horrible. Okay. In 1984, Michael Jackson was still making big hits. This time he teamed up with Paul McCartney. But Michael was not the only one making big hits in 1984. The #1 song of 1984 came from the incredibly talented Prince. And one song we will always remember from 1984 was this great one. Here is Hello by Lionel Richie.
All right, it's all for 1984.
Almost halfway there.
You know, that's halfway.
Oh, it's halfway
80,
there.
81, 82, 83, 84. Yeah, we're halfway there. All right, I'm going to put up the thumbnail for 1985. I know y'all know this dude. He was incredible. All the girls loved him back in 1985. Little did they know that maybe he didn't like the girls as much as they liked him. But he was a talented fella, and we'll always remember his tunes. Change teleprompter to 1985 now.
Use the icons in 1984 when Jackie died and Mark gave that to. He was only 44 because he was shot to death by his father.
Yeah, it's the first time you knew that when you read it, right?
Yeah.
See,
All right, we got almost everything ready here.
I'm gonna post a link to my story because I think people might join.
Yeah.
Which link? The
Um,
YouTube one or?
the YouTube one. So hang on a second, folks. I'm gonna get me some
If
water.
you tag me in the Facebook thing, if you tag me, it'll tag people on my.
Okay, let me tag you if I figure it out. Tag. Tagging. You have been tagged. I get some water before we start the next one. Yeah, post it on your Instagram as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I posted, if you want to, put a post, copy that link to the WhatsApp group. And
Oh,
just say,
you can watch live.
yeah, if you want to watch live, we're recording the 80s. The USDH WhatsApp group. All right, folks, we're getting ready to record 1985. As you can see, Mr. George Michael on the screen there. He was big, huge in 1985.
Okay.
Back before he went solo, he was with his band called Wham.
Okay. I'm just uploading to different sources.
Do, 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 do. All right, we're getting ready to do 1985. Thanks for the folks who are tuning in, who have tuned in, and who are going to tune in later, because this will be available on, I guess it'll be on Facebook and it'll be on YouTube.
Okay, 1 second. Stop.
Make sure the teleprompter is on the right thing. I'm going to turn the camera back on now. The teleprompter. And don't say that word during the second line.
Which word? Which one?
Decades of
Oh, yeah, I already know.
Yeah, I sometimes forget to remove it, so. yeah. All right.
Okay, and then,
Oh.
okay. See, the only reason I can add a link to my Instagram profile is because I have enough followers.
Yeah, Sarah thinks the eighties was the best decade. I gotta agree with her. There was some incredible music.
I would say the 70s, because Bee Gees is the 70s, right?
Yeah,
70s for me. And the 50s.
hello, Sarah. Hello, Miguel Angel Juarez.
Wait, Jenny, did you already get this, the clothes for the 50s?
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
okay.
on the way.
Okay.
I got Miguel's comment on the screen there.
Hi, Miguel.
For those of you who don't understand Spanish, I will translate that for you. He says, I send you a big hug
Aw.
from all your followers of this wonderful channel, and especially the beautiful conductora,
Graciela.
no, the talent, it's the show host. And he sends his saludos, his greetings from Zacatecas, Mexico.
Woo! Mexico.
So, Viva Mexico. Hello, Mexico. Thanks for tuning in.
Is it already ready for the next decade?
Yeah, I've got 1985 on the deal right there.
Okay.
We're going back to the future in 1985.
Okay. This is the Pop Music Time Machine, where we relive the decades of pop music history. Hi, this is Gracie. The Pop Music Time Machine is running. And the year is dialed in. In 1985, we got a new version of Coca-Cola. It was called New Coke. It was not a hit. It was a disaster. Thankfully, we still have the original Coke. Not the original one, right?
Yeah, they went back to the original.
original one.
Oh,
You know what the original one had?
oh, the original one had Coke.
Oh, no.
Come on. All right, we got a break mid-year here to reattach the mic.
Got it?
Okay, yeah. Mic came off.
Mic drop.
The mic drop. Okay.
It says in 1985, a fellow form. You mean a fellow former?
What? A fellow from.
But from.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did it wrong. Is that where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay. You're it.
In 1985, a fellow from North Carolina was named NBA's Rookie of the Year. The famous Route 66 was
Route 66.
okay.
Yeah, well, Scott, you're seeing the bloopers right now, man. I mean, Scott says, wow, waiting to see the bloopers. You're watching it, man. They're coming at you live.
Yeah.
You know. So did you put the thing on WhatsApp?
No.
Go ahead, put it on WhatsApp. We're in the middle of 1985 right now. Grace is getting ready to talk about Route 66, where I was born. I was born right off of Route 66 in
Everyone's saying the link isn't working.
Victorville, California. What link isn't working?
The one that I sent.
For YouTube?
Yeah,
Let me check. Maybe you sent the wrong one. Yeah, I'm following the link now. That's how, I see the link now.
wait,
It ends with the letter BU.
is it this link?
It goes something in BU with the next two letters.
Yeah. That's what I put. Let me go to it personally from what I posted.
Hang on a second, we're confirming the YouTube link is working.
This is all it says.
What?
Your device is up to date.
Well, that's probably just your deal. If anybody is tuned in on YouTube, can you put a message and confirm you're watching us right now?
Yeah, see, everybody else is getting the same message. Your device is up to date.
I have no idea why it's saying that. I'm not getting that on a browser. On a browser, I can see the feed.
So maybe it's on the phone. I'll delete it.
Who was saying they couldn't get to it?
Just a follower.
Okay. There's something freaky happening on the phone. Should be there. Same with us, folks. We are working a little possible technical error on YouTube, but hopefully YouTube is okay. Yeah. Bella Beeson said she's tuned in on YouTube. So
Oh, on the phone? Hey, Bella. The OG. Beautiful lady. A very, very beautiful lady.
Bella's too young for me, sadly.
And she has a boyfriend, I think.
And the Instagram link, Isaiah Sanchez said the Instagram link
Worked?
worked perfectly. You know,
Maybe it's just for some people then. Okay, I deleted it. I will repost it then. I'm so sorry that I deleted it. I will repost it again.
all right, folks, we're in the middle of 1985 right now. We usually don't.
Thank you so much for coming through Instagram. I really appreciate it. Okay. Watch live now. Okay. Whew.
Let's get recording again.
Okay, I deleted it, so I'm just reposting it.
And you posted it on WhatsApp?
Not yet. I have to re-upload it to everywhere else.
The thing with us, folks, we're doing 1985 right now and just making sure the links are correct. This is behind the scenes, so you see a little bit of what we do here. Phone is a little bit wonky. Or this little camera is a little bit wonky. I don't know how this thing is done. See, we've already been recording 1 hour and 22 minutes, and
It feels so fast.
each episode is about 5 to 6 minutes, and it's about 2 minutes of talking, 2 to 3 minutes of talking. So it goes to show you, just to get 5 minutes, it takes a long time. Somebody's going back to work. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sad you have to go back to work.
Okay, someone says their name is Doik Mephisto.
Doink Mephisto.
Okay, here we go. Re-uploaded. Oh, what's that?
Like on the USDH group. So we're live on YouTube right now, recording the 80s. All right, folks, we're going to start recording again in just a second, so hang with us. I'll stop it there.
Okay. Here we go.
Scott. Hi, Scott. Scott 022565.
Oh, the iconic YouTube channel.
All right. Can you start from the top?
From all the way in the beginning.
Yeah. Because I want to keep myself.
How many times? It's so long, it keeps getting tangled in the. Here. Oh, no, it's missing. Cool. Okay.
All right, we're going to start from the top of 1985. Recording, yep. Recording. Hang on a second, I'm start recording. All right. Go when you're ready.
This is the Pop Music Time Machine, where we relive the decades of pop music history. Hi, this is Gracie. The Pop Music Time Machine is running. And the year is dialed in. In 1985, we got a new version of Coca-Cola. It was called New Coke, but it was not a hit. It was a disaster. Thankfully, we still have the original Coke. In 1985, a fellow former North Carolina.
Fellow from.
In 1985, a fellow from North Carolina was named NBA's Rookie of the Year. The famous Route 66 was decommissioned in 1985. A Time Machine ruled the movies in 1985. Some of the best-known pop stars of all time got together in January of 1985 to record We Are the World. It was a benefit for the African famine. The song was written by Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie. Since its release, the song has raised over $200 million for famine relief. Some big pop stars came into the world in 1985. We say happy birthday to Lana Del Rey, Bruno Mars, and Ciara. And sadly, we say goodbye to Ricky Nelson. Ricky died in a plane crash in 1985. The pop hits were big in 1985. While this song was not the biggest hit of 1985, it was maybe the biggest and best music video of all time. It has over 1.8 billion views on YouTube. Here's a little of Take On Me from the band Aha. And here are more of the best pop songs we loved in 1985. It was a great year for George Michael and his band Wham! This song was the biggest one of 1985. That's all for the Pop Music Time Machine for 1985. We will cover all the great stuff that happened in 1986 coming up. So we will see you down the road. Bye.
And that part, I'm putting in a scene from Back to the Future where the old man puts his glasses on and says, "We don't need no roads." And he takes off in the time machine.
We don't need no roads.
All right, folks, we're going to 1986 now. I'm going to pop
Almost done.
1986, the year that I graduated from Conway High School. And got the on the screen right now is the group that gave us the biggest song of 1986. Can you identify those people? When I was going through the research for this year, I didn't realize that that song was the biggest one of 1986. Probably because I was listening to Bon Jovi back then. I don't know, but that's pictures from the biggest song of 1986. Set up the teleprompter now for 1986. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We're gonna bring up 1986 now.
Okay.
Not on camera right now. I'm gonna turn the camera back on. What the heck was that? What was it?
My phone, but I don't know where it was. No, I put it on the table and now it's all the way over there.
I think we have a ghost in the studio.
There's definitely
A phone just fell for no reason.
for no reason.
Things 1986. For those of you who are alive in 1986, how old were you? I was 18. No, I was not 18. Yeah, I was 18 in 1986. Getting ready to work at the Magic Attic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina with Sugar Creek.
Okay.
All right, we're getting back on camera here. Stack on it. I've got it queued up for 86. Let me get a drink of water. All right, this is Pop Music Time Machine. You're behind the scenes with us today. We're recording the episodes of the 1980s that you'll see probably in a couple of weeks after we get it produced. But right now, you're just seeing what it looks like as we record them and get everything together.
Next year or next decade is the 90s.
Yeah.
Don't have to.
Actually, the next decade we're going to record is the 50s.
Oh,
We're going back in time to the 50s after we finish the 80s. So. See. Yeah, most folks were minus age. I wasn't minus, I was plus 18.
Like,
Hang with me, I'm gonna figure out what the heck I'm doing. All right. 1986 in pop music history.
welcome back to the Pop Music Time Machine. We are reliving the decades of pop music history. Hi, I'm your host, Gracie. Today we go back to the memorable year of 1986.
Stop. I think you're getting a little hair in the microphone. If you can move it around a little bit. All right.
Again,
You don't have to do it again. I think you could just start the next part. There was a disaster in Ukraine.
there was also a disaster in Ukraine in 1986. In 1986, monthly rent was around $385, and you could buy a house for around $80,000. A great Super Bowl commercial from 1986 was this one. On the big screen, we had the Need for Speed. In 1986 will be the year that the influence of rap and hip hop music came into mainstream. And this song is a big reason why. 1986 brought us some future pop stars into the world when these little babies arrived. Happy birthday to Drake, Lady Gaga, and Ellie Goulding. And boy, was there great pop music in 1986. Let's turn these. And boy, was there great pop music in 1986. Let's turn these hit songs up loud. The biggest song of 1986 was a legendary music collaboration. What, Dion?
Dion.
The biggest song of 1986 was a legendary music collaboration. Here is Dionne Warwick, Gladys Knight, Elton John, and Stevie Wonder with That's What Friends Are For. 1986 is done. We will see you next time in 1987. Take us out, Tom Cruise. We do not approve of Scientology, though.
But we approve of Tom's movies.
Yes.
They're great. All right, we're going to pull up the fancy thumbnail from 1987 now as we get closer to closing out the decade. And do you folks recognize who that is? The hints in the background. Of course, on these thumbnails, Gracie will appear too, but that's after the fact. But it shows you like the biggest group of 1987 were these beautiful ladies. Right now, while you're looking at the thumbnail, we do things in the background to get it ready for
1987.
87. This part here, when you get to the biggest pop song of 87, we're all trying to walk like Egyptians. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Because we'll take from that part of the video to the song. 1987, those are the Bangles. Her name is Hoff. Her last name is Hoff. I can't remember what her first name is. But no, Scott.
But
Oh, I'm not going to touch that one. I'm going to turn the camera back on here. Hang with us. Okay, the camera's back on. We're ready for 1987. 1987, I was working like 92 nights straight at a nightclub in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Back in the day. You about ready to do 1987?
yes. Okay.
Greetings, everybody who are joining in. We're so happy to see you online with us. Thank you for supporting us. We're just giving you a little bit of behind the scenes look at what we do here on the Pop Music Time Machine. We record stuff every couple of weeks. It takes a couple of weeks to put it all together. You know, we do decade by decade. So we're warming up the 80s now. After we finish the 80s, we're going to go way back to the 1950s.
Okay.
So let me.
Bye.
We're doing 1987, right?
Yeah.
1987, you can go when you are ready.
Hi there, and welcome to the Pop Music Time Machine as we roll through the decade of the 1980s and enjoy great years of pop music history. Hi, I'm Gracie. Let's take the time machine back to 1987. 1987 brought us the first cartoon from The Simpsons, as it was shown on the Tracy Ullman Show. On the bigger screen, the #1 movie was Beverly Hills Cop 2. On the radio in 1987, this song stirred up a lot of controversy, not just because the English grammar was bad. I Want Your Sex by George Michael was hard for lots of people to hear. So hard, in fact, that some radio stations would not play it, and some used an edited version called simply I Want Your Love. Apparently, George did not like the song much either, as he seldom played it in concert. Let's take a quick listen to the edited version. But the song was a hit. Here's a little of the real version, I Want Your Sex by George Michael. Rock was big in 1987. We all love these rock songs, and they were big hits. 1987 brought some future pop stars into the world. Happy birthday to Kesha, Kevin Jones, and Frank Ocean. And the biggest pop song of 1987 had us all trying to walk like Egyptians. Here are the Bangles, Walk Like an Egyptian.
Do that part again, but don't say walk like Egyptian.
Yeah. Okay. And the biggest pop song of 1987 had us all trying to walk like Egyptians. Here are the Bangles.
Alrighty. It's time for 1988 now.
Yay! I'm going to use the restroom really quick.
Bringing up the big star of 1988 on the screen now. George Michael. He was still hitting it big in 88.
George Michael.
And with us as we use the bathroom and get some water and get ready for 1988. Do 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 do. I need to play music on this thing. What does it sound like? A little musical interlude there. Getting ready to record 1988 in pop music history. 1988. The country singer Luke Combs remembers 1988 because one of his favorite songs that he made a #1 hit was released in 1988. You know what that song was? That's a hint. See how smart you are. So that's the trivia. What song in 1988 was made #1 last year by Luke Combs? And of course, if you want more Luke Combs, you tune into the Country Music Time Machine. I think Gracie's almost finished with her bathroom break, and we'll be recording again just in a second, so hang with us. Don't let the cat back in.
Okay, it needs to change to,
Oh. Yeah. Kill his music. Bring up the camera. Do. 1988 on the Pop Music Time Machine. You're seeing the back scene stuff. It does. Okay, yeah, this, do you know I Need You Tonight by NXS?
I think so.
Can you bring it up on your phone?
Yes.
I'm trying to get Gracie into the mood of this song that will start 1988, which is actually, I think, my favorite song from 1988.
What's it called?
Need You Tonight, NXS, INXS.
Need You Tonight.
And get her a seat. We're practicing. Do the groove. Okay, that's good.
Oh, did you record that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna use that?
Yeah, I'm gonna use that in the first part of the video. That's
Is it
gonna,
like unconscious?
huh?
It's not about.
I think we're gonna play the intro of NXS Need You Tonight. It's coming into the episode. Because he has a part where he says, "Come over here." And then you are gonna say your first line. Okay, make sure it's got the right thing on the teleprompter. So you start where, underneath that line.
Yeah.
All right. You go when you're ready.
I'm here and this is the pop music time.
I want you to be a little more emotional about that. I am here.
I'm here and this is the pop music time machine. And we are loving the 80s and enjoying the decades of pop music history. Right now, we head back to 1988. The big news story was the bombing of 1988. The big news story was the bombing of 1988.
Where is that?
It's like repeating.
Oh, it did repeat, didn't it?
I got it.
The big news story of 1988 was the bombing of a Pan Am jet over Lockerbie, Scotland. So there's a little bit extra in there.
The big news story was the bombing of 1988 of a Pan Am jet.
The big news story was the bombing of a Pan Am jet.
Okay.
Try to remember it, was the bombing of Pan Am jet. That crap in the middle, I don't know how it got.
The big news story was the bombing of 1988 of a Pan Am jet.
The big news, the entire year didn't get bombed. But the big news story was Skip,
Of 1988. The big news story of 1988
was the bombing.
was the bombing.
Okay.
The big news story of 1988 was the bombing of a Pan Am jet over Lockerbie in Scotland by Libyan terrorists. 270 died in the bombing. In 1988, a gallon of gas was 90 cents. A movie ticket was $3.50. We had some pop music celebrities born in 1988. Happy birthday to Rihanna, Adele, and Lizzo. But sadly, we lost two pop music stars in 1988. But sadly, we lost two pop music stars in 1988. Both were too young when they died. Roy Orbison died from a heart attack. He was only 52. And Andy Gibb also died due to heart issues. He was only 30 years old. One of the biggest songs ever, one of the greatest songs ever recorded came out in 1988. It was covered by country singer Luke Combs in 2023 and was a huge hit. Here is the original classic from Tracy Chapman. If you had a cassette player in 1988, you were probably listening to these rockin' tunes. In 1987, George Michael was talking about sex on his hit song. In 1988, he got a little faith. Here's the #1 song of 1988.
Do that again. In 19, he got a little faith. It went a little bit too fast there. It's like, in 1987, George Michael was talking about sex on his hit song. In 1988, he got a little faith. Here's the #1 song of
So where
1988.
do I start? 1988? You got a little faith?
It just started in 1987.
In 1987, George Michael was talking about sex on his hit song. In 1988, he got a little faith. Here is the #1 song of 1988.
Okay. Strangely enough, the camera is about to die. All right, folks, we just wrapped up 1988. We're getting ready to close out the decade of the
Yay,
80s.
1989!
It's not gonna work.
Baby, I can feel it in my soul.
Shit. Excuse my language. All right, just a camera here. Camera that out of whack. Hang with us, folks. We are having to possibly Trying to think what my problem here is. I'm not getting power on the camera. We're having some technical
You think
problems.
it'll last one more year though?
Huh?
You think it'll last one more year?
I don't know. It's at 2% right now.
Risky.
For whatever reason.
Something's happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a
Let's try to do one more year with it. All right, folks, we're going to 1989 now. Went over to the wrong thing. Oh no, we may have to change cameras. Yeah, we're gonna have to change cameras.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're gonna have to reconnect the mic to the other camera. All right, folks, gonna bring up the banner for 1989. I'm sure y'all remember these guys.
Everybody look what's going down.
Hang with us, folks. Okay. Here.
My hair smells good.
All right.
We had skipped that.
Yeah. Gotta get the camera ready. Those guys were big in 1989. In 1990, they fell from their throne because they could not sing. They were fakers. But they could dance well, that's for sure. All right, we're just getting the camera set up here. You're ready to go in about 2 minutes. Thank y'all for being patient. As we have, camera is on you right now.
Okay.
Talk to the folks.
Thank you for being here and watching everything that goes on while we're recording this stuff. Sometimes it takes a lot of takes, depending on the wording, but it's really fun and I really like doing it. And I just learned so much about the years that I wish I was around, It's these days it's kind of hard, but I mean, as every year has been. Yeah, it's nice.
We go on, we survive.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna take a look at,
It-
huh? Oh, I don't think I even started it. Is that blood on that little guy? 1989 on the teleprompter. Somebody who's performing in Japan was born in 1989.
He swizzle swizz.
And so was her boyfriend, I think.
Yeah, he was.
I think they're
He was
both.
born in 1989. He was born the month before, November 5th, or he might be October 5th. He's either October 5th. Okay.
All right, folks, this is our last year of the 80s. After this, we're going to do a quick little short, and then we'll be done. Thank you for those who have tuned in, and those of you who are going to tune in later, whether via Facebook or YouTube, we thank you. We've been recording now for 2 hours, so we're a little tired. We're almost done, so we're excited. So, are you ready to do 1989, Gracie?
Yeah. 1 second. I love it in here. Let's get out of that time. This is my show, Bernie girl. This is not your show.
The cat invaded again, so we have to get rid of the cat.
Okay.
We're ready when you are.
It's time to crank up the pop music time machine and close out the incredible decade of the 80s as we roll through the decades of pop music history. Hi, I'm your host, Gracie. Let's get started and get into 1989. In 1989, President Reagan,
No, in 1987, President Reagan told the Russian president to tear down this wall.
In 1987, President Reagan told the Russian president to tear down.
Do that again. You said present. Russian president.
In 1987, President Reagan told the
Do
Russian
that again. Reagan.
Reagan. In 1987, President Reagan told the Russian president to tear down the Berlin Wall. And in 1989, the Berlin Wall came down. Life was a little different in 1989. A gallon of gas would have
Would have set you back.
Life was a little different in 1989. A gallon of gas would have set you back about 97 cents. You could mail a letter for a quarter and you could buy yourself a 2-inch TV for $250. On the small screen, Robert Stack was scaring us to death with his unsolved mysteries. In 1989, we got our first Batman movie. In 1989, some future pop stars came into the world. Happy birthday to Chris Brown, Jason Derulo, Joe Jonas, Bebe Rexha, and my favorite,
You're getting too excited. Start at the beginning of that segment.
I thought you forgot.
No, it's there. She has a separate sentence.
Good. In 1989, some future pop stars came into the world. Happy birthday to Chris Brown, Jason Derulo, Joe Jonas, and Bebe Rexha. I'm getting too excited. This future pop diva was born in 1989. Yep, that is the one and only Taylor Swift. She's my favorite. If you turned on the radio in 1989, your ears were filled with some great tunes. Here are a few to remember. And the biggest song of the final year of the 1980s was this one from the band Chicago.
Do that again. Was this one from the band Chicago?
And the biggest song of the final year of the 1980s was this one from the band Chicago. And that's all for the great decade of the 80s. For more music from the history of pop music, stay tuned to the Pop Music Time Machine. I'm Christy. See you soon.
All right, now take the stool away and do
Do I take the mic off?
no, because you're gonna do the short now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't write a script for this, so like, do it like you did before, sort of like, hi, this is Gracie. If you love pop music and you love pop music history, you gotta tune into the Pop Music Time Machine. We're almost finished, folks.
Oh. Wait, oh.
Hmm?
Oops. I'm good. Okay, the camera's still right there.
Yeah, let me move it up a little bit. Just watch your hands from going high.
What do I say?
They can go to the left or right, but because of the green screen is not incredibly high. Actually, let me move the green screen. I can't move the green screen. Hi, this is Gracie. If you love pop music and you love pop music history, boy, you've got to watch the Pop Music Time Machine.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what to say.
Okay. Hey, this is Gracie.
Do you love pop music and the history of pop music? If you do, you got to tune in to the Pop Music Time Machine. Right, let me start recording.
Hi, this is Gracie. Do you love pop music and the history of pop music?
I got it.
Hi, this is Gracie. Do you love pop music and the history of it? Well, you've got to tune in to the Pop Music Time Machine.
Now the next part, you can just say, all the years of pop music history, year by year and decade by decade on the Pop Music Time Machine.
All the years of pop music history, year by year and decade by decade. You've got to tune in to the Pop Music Time Machine.
All right, that's all.
Not like little pictures, or do you think you can take little screen grabs from
Huh?
me?
I probably can from those.
Okay,
You know, I can probably get, well, yeah. I want you do a pose like an Egyptian. One goes back, I believe.
Oh,
You got to see it though. You got to put your hand back. Yeah, like that. Because that'll go for the thumbnail for the what do you call it? The bangles. You know. All right. And just do a couple of other different poses, imagining people around you or near you. Don't get your hands too high though, because I can't get them in the screen. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. Do one pointing to the left, one pointing to the right. Yeah, let's get physical. That's probably good.
Sweet. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday. And tune in to see these videos when they come out. But in the meantime, if you haven't yet watched the 70s or the 60s, go ahead and watch those. And the next ones we will be filming are the 50s. Thank you.